Okay, my dear friends, and this is part 3. I wanted to come and talk about the revelation that the Father had given me regarding the 4 beasts which are in the book of Daniel, and we find that in chapter 7, and this is from verse 4, where it talks about the 4 beasts. And we know that the first beast that Daniel saw was like a lion, had the eagle's wings, and stood up like a human being and took the mind of a human being. Okay, so the second one was a bear, the third one was a leopard, and the fourth one was the eagle. Okay, now if we go back and we look at the 4 gospels, we know that the lion is the king. Okay, so it represents authority and reigning and ruling. Okay, the second is Jesus came to serve, not to be served. So basically, the service. The third is him being his vulnerability as a human being, okay? And the fourth is the eagle. But because Satan is a thief, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and the fact that he wants to mimic everything God has and wants to do the replica of everything God has, by the light of cherub that he has, because he comes from the cherubim, he actually wanted to kind of replica the same type of kingdom here on earth. That's why Daniel saw the 4 types of kingdoms. And the first one was the lion with the eagle's wing that stood up like a human being. So, of course, he established that because he always wants to be in control. He wants to be in power and control over human being. But because Satan does not have the compassion in him, or feel like a human being, or even to serve, if anything, he wants to control, not to serve. We do not see the two creature faces in here. We do not see the ox, and we do not see a human being. It just says that the lion stood up like a human being. Am I making? I hope I'm being able to explain. Basically, kingship with divine authority, basically, and the human stood up like a human being, having the human mind, which is taking control over the human beings and having a kingdom to actually, rule over them. But the 4th beast, my dear friends, is the eagle. And of course, the eagle is Jesus's perfect God and perfect human being. And the 4th beast is by far the worst beast in the, in the beasts list that Daniel saw, okay? Worse than any of the first 3. And this is the 4th beast, my dear friends, that the Babylonian system that God is dismantling right now. I just would like to say that. It's the eagles, the beast, the eagle beast. And my dear friends, you can also find this in 2nd Esdras, chapter 12, because even Ezra, Prophet Ezra saw this, okay? And you find that in verse 11 and 12, where the angel says that your brother Daniel saw this beast, but the explanation of what it wasn't given to him. But it is being given to you now. I think I'd like to come back and do a video about the fullness, which prophet receives what and how they receive. That's for another day. But basically, right now, this is the type of the kingdom. We are in the 4th beast. This is the 4th that it's being dismantled step by step. And we are witnessing it. And it's actually nothing but a blessing to live in such a days for us to be able to see the dismantling of Satan's kingdom. Okay? And the fact that God is bringing justice back to earth. And I hope I was being able to explain. I hope I was able to give to you why Daniel saw those 4 beasts, why 2 of them was not resembling the 4 creatures, because there is no such character in Satan to be humble or to serve. That's part of the reason. And we actually saw the other 2 creature faces. So I love you all with the love of Christ. Stay blessed until next time.